As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind...
Okay, thank you very much for joining me today. Today's video will be explaining about the lawyers, the police corruption and these offshore islands that I've personally encountered. The reason I first travelled to one of these offshore islands was in January 2020, because I found that there had been a theft from my trustee's firm of lawyers by one of his employees. I challenged now the firm of lawyers who are representing my retired trustee, and all the individuals that work at this particular law firm in this offshore island used to work for my trustees. So what I'm alleging is they're covering up their own fraud. So one of the employees actually stole £5.5 million from the offshore islands or lawyer's firm. As you can see from the accounts here, it adds up to exactly the same amount of money. These are my family's accounts, and you can see on the next page, I then approached the FSA of one of these offshore islands and explained that I had huge concerns that my family's money had been stolen in the 2015 period, but only been brought to my attention by my research. And then you can see more attempts by the FSA sort of telling me that they've done a review and they found no sort of illegal practices. Again, more communication with the FSA of that island, and they're reassuring me and telling me that there's nothing wrong has happened. You can see here with the corruption of the Metropolitan Police, for just under a year I telephoned the Metropolitan Police to let them know that I had found information to do with my grandfather's financial affairs, and clearly the information I supplied them were the missing documents from his safe that was left open. And again, you can see they just threatened to arrest me for some period of time, and used to laugh at me when I called them as well. So they're very disrespectful, the Metropolitan Police were. We finally managed to figure out that my granddad's murder did actually take place. So I got the case open, and basically in one of these offshore islands, the police said to me here, if I tried to call anyone else within the police forces, that my attempts would be futile. They shut the criminal inquiry into my family's businesses in that offshore island more times than I can remember. It's a good job I continued, because that individual actually shut the case many times, but it's now re-investigating it nearly a year on. On the next page you'll see here, this is the historical murder squad. So after my threats of arrest for reporting new evidence on my grandfather's murder for nearly a year, they agreed that the murder did take place, but referred me to what they call as the historical murder squad in London. And as you can see, it's highlighted here at the bottom that they cannot locate the information on your grandfather's murder. She says, was this an unsolved murder or a solved murder? Surely they should know. And then on the next page you'll see it's a cover-up attempt by suggesting that my family's trust, or the specific company that collected the UK rents for my family, was not affected. Now that's complete lies, because the company in question is dissolved by the island's own convicted fraudster. Now on the next page you'll see here again the offshores islands, stating that they are wanting information on my grandfather's murder. So they're trying to ask me here who's investigating Mr. Durrant's murder now. So I explained to these ladies of this offshore island police department who was investigating my grandfather's murder. And then basically they telephoned the historical murder squad. The next day I had a phone call from the police saying that my grandfather's murder had been shut down. So that's quite clearly a collusion between that offshore island and stopping my grandfather's investigation. Then onto the next page is you can see basically that I complained to the Metropolitan Police, and they then suggested and made it quite clear they were going to investigate the complaint that I had, when the officers hadn't taken the information that I'd given them seriously or understood it, and they ended up investigating themselves. Thanks a lot for your time. Bye-bye.